right, guys. We got another one, guys. We're at Ferndale High School. This is Sweat Equity Podcast, the home of telling stories for athletes, coaches, pop culture, and also this is also thanks for joining us. Where we're about the grind, the work, and the passion behind the success. So talk to me about your accomplishments thus far. I know people don't like to talk about accomplishments, but you're a big time player or had a lot of success with playing. So talk to me about your success or your accomplishments with playing the game and also your accomplishments with coaching the game thus far.
Well, I mean, playing the game, I grew up in Reach, playing for Virgil Phillips and Mark Webster. So, like, that's where my roots are at. Just grew up played with a lot of good players. I wasn't always the most talented, so I always worked hard, man. So I always grind to get, to be in the upper echelon of players. So, or to be recognized in that, I had to work. So, ended up going to Cass Tech, played at Cass Tech, then went to Michigan Dearborn, and I always led the nation in assist to turnover ratio. So I had a pretty good career there, man, successful, and I thank God for the experiences I've had because it helped me throughout life and just my work ethic. So because I had to work, to be a good player. So.
So as far as in coaching, you've been coaching for quite a bit. I mean, you're getting up there. And you're getting up there in the years. You're getting up there in the years. So talk to me about your accomplishments so far with all the places that you have been, all the places that you have been for your coaching stops.
So I started off at Crockett. A good friend of mine, Clarence Box, who's good friends with Irvin Blair, and obviously me and him became friends. So he needed help, and he got suspended his first 5 games. So I had coached the team. We ended up 4-1, and I was helping him. Then he ended up getting a job at the prison. They had mandatory overtime, so he knew he couldn't continue to, coach. So he basically handed it over to me. And I was the youngest coach in the city at the time at like 24, 25 at Crockett. And we were pretty successful. Crockett closed in 2012, and I ended up going over to East English. So they offered me the job over there. I was over there for 6 years, then left and been at Ferndale for the past 8. We won a state championship in 2023. Went to the Breslin Center, 3 years in a row prior to that. So just I'm excited with all the kids I've been able to touch and all the scholarships we help get, and just lives we touch. And the biggest thing that I love about it is the fact that I still remain close and have relationships with those kids that played for me. And I think that's the legacy part, just seeing how you've been able to have an impact on their lives, and they continue to keep in touch with you.
So just talk to us about that. Like, you're 24 years old, and I believe at that Crockett team, like, wasn't like a Mo Ager or like who was like
Mo Ager was playing while I was playing, so he was a year under me, so he was playing in high school then. But at the Crockett team, I had Lloyd Neely, who finished up behind Mr. Basketball, behind Denzel Valentine, went to Oakland. I had Lamar Branch, Tim Johnson, Kyle Stewart. They ended up going to Youngstown and finished up at UMKC. Man, we had tons of players, man. We had tons of players. Devin Long, that went to Cleveland State. So, yep, he was the first kid that I was able to help get a Division I scholarship. So, it's cool to see him thriving too as well, so.
But just like even how you talked about, like, even in your playing career, how you had like the most like player to assist, like assist ratio. I mean, you had the highest assist, but then you had the highest assist to turnover ratio. That will just talk to your smartness on the court, and like, it will seem like those type of guys are normally coaches. You know what I'm saying? Those type of guys that carry themselves that way are normally coaches. So like, how was your mental out there when you was playing the court? Like, were you out there coaching the guys, or were you like an automatic leader? Because I know you say you had to work hard for it in your younger days.
Yeah, you would coach on the floor. Basketball was different at that time. It wasn't a million threes, and you had to do what the coach say. You had to be a point guard, pass first. It started to evolve once I got to college. I got a chance to showcase a little bit more what I could do offensively, but still impacting the game, passing the ball. But, I've always been like a student of the game. So, we always joke that it's not a lot of good big man coaches, So if you look around, like you name me 10 like coaches that were bigs that's like great coaches, you know what I'm saying, or considered great coaches, but those are usually because as a point guard, you're always thinking the game. You always have to think the game. So even becoming a coach, like Coach Kelso and, G Ward and all those guys are way older than me. So I wasn't going to out coach them. Coach Fife, 30 years older than me, like wasn't going to out coach them. So I had to work hard at getting my players better than theirs, and player development. That I just tried to make it so they couldn't coach either. So I changed the way we played. We pressured a whole lot so that we could take that aspect of them controlling the game out. Because I got tired of losing by 2 and 3, because them guys are good at that. Like those are good coaches. So I just started to get better and better, but just create a funner style where kids wanted to, play for me, and really just about the relationships, what I'm saying, rather than winning. So.
Okay. So, Coach, if I walked into your practice right now and I asked some of your star players to describe you in one word, what would they say?
The star players?
Not star. Sorry, some of your players, not star players, but some of your players in general over the years. What would they say?
They would say that we got a good relationship. That I'm always pushing them, challenging them. That I don't play around. That I'm about structure, discipline, work ethic. That I'm not kissing nobody's butt. At the end of the day, that's one of the reasons I started coaching. I got tired of seeing so many talented people like not make it, or so many people get to places where their talent took them that their character couldn't keep them. So I'm big on character. So I demand the most out of them. I demand excellence out of the players. Of course, they're not perfect, but we're striving to find the best version of them and trying to help them, accomplish their dreams. So some of them want to be in the NBA, and I gotta let them know you're not there yet. You got a long way to go. So that I love you so much, I'm willing for you not to like me. Because remember, you got a dream you're trying to accomplish, and that's my job to help you get there. And really, you're gonna be living longer than you're gonna play basketball. So we got to give you some things that sustain, that can help you be successful along the way. So
Building character, building men, not just building basketball players, building future men.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Oh wow. So, Coach, your coaching style, I know you just talked about you guys are pressing, you guys are doing a lot of fast up tempo, like this. Before I talk about the coaching style, who was like one of your favorite NBA players growing up?
Man, my favorite NBA player growing up, it was Isaiah Thomas. Then I would say Tim Hardaway. I loved Ray Allen, man, in college too, and Allen Iverson. Ray Allen, I loved Ray Allen, probably because He Got Game, right? One of my favorite movies, man.
Every day.
After that, man, I just started to like just good basketball, man. I didn't per se have a favorite player, but more so I just wanted to see good basketball after that. So honestly, yeah.
So like watching like good basketball, you got like teams like the Spurs, and like you got a lot of those older teams. Right. You got a lot of those older teams too. Let me know if you gotta ever walk out and do something like that. Okay. And got a lot of those older teams, stuff like that. So like, who are like some of those teams that you like, or like some of those coaches you say like, all right, that coach, he got my style, or I kind of mirror my style off this coach's technique?
Well, I tell you what, man. When I was kind of changing the way I played, I went to West Virginia, and I watched Bobby Huggins, because I just wanted to know how he got those guys to play so hard. Bobby Huggins, again, just terms of work ethic. So I got a chance to learn a lot. I don't think he gets enough credit in terms of like how hard he gets his guys to play. Then Shaka Smart, man. I spent a little time at VCU. I try to get to Marquette and VCU, well, when he was at VCU, but I try to get to Marquette as much as possible. Shock is really big on culture, and he gets the guys to play hard too. So
Mm.
those are some of the guys that, like I said, when I was early in my career,
Wow.
I really kind of studied because they was
Mm.
both big on culture and they got the guys to play hard. So,
Ooh. But like you see, like you wasn't so big headed that you didn't just like, you know what, I got my way, I played basketball, I was a point guard, I know what it
right,
is,
right, right.
and just took your own advice and just did it your way. You went and started to study the game
Yeah,
and
yeah,
start
yeah.
to study successful coaches who have already been doing it or is doing it at a high level
Mm,
to try to, like this is one of those games where you can steal somebody else's stuff and
mm,
make it
mm.
and put your twist on it and
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
better, or
yeah.
I mean make it better into your version.
Mm,
But that's just clever of a person of you and as a
mm,
coach of you,
mm.
just to be able to add to your
Yeah,
game. So like, how do
yeah.
you like what made you want to do that? Like what made you want to feel like, you know what, I'm going to go out to some of these guys at big times to be able to do that?
Well, I was young, man, and I really didn't know what. When you first start coaching, you coach based on your experiences.
Mm.
Then I wanted to be good. And at that time, me and Coach Al, we was, bouncing things off of each other, and God bless him and his family. Um, but I just wanted to get better. I always had good work ethic. I wanted to get better. And really, I've always just been a student, man, a student of leadership, a student of, how to run a good organization, to have great climate and culture,
Mm-hmm.
because those are the things that make good organizations right there. So, yeah.
Woo. Woo. So talk to us about like right now, high school. You're in high school matchups. So um, talk to us about some of those coaches whom you respect that you know
Mm-hmm.
when these guys, I feel like coaches put their style, put their
Mm-hmm.
heart on their team.
Mm-hmm.
Your team play how, probably play like how you played back in the day, and like Coach Waddell and like all those
Yeah,
guys,
yep, yep.
those guys. So who are some of those high school matchups that you know right now? These coaches are going to bring it, guys. Strap your shit up, strap your stuff up. No complaining to the referees
Right.
because these guys are going to bring it. It's going to be one of those type of games, guys. Let's go. Who are some of those coaches? Who are some of those programs?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't mean to sound PC, man, but like I respect everybody, honestly. That because everybody's pretty good in their own right,
Mm,
and they do a lot with probably not as much as we think.
mm,
So I mean, I just always are respectful of the process, man, and always look forward to just the process, man. I think
mm,
it's a lot of good coaches, and you got to respect anybody to give their time to kids, honestly.
mm.
And like I said, in terms of just naming some coaches, I mean, Ken Flowers been doing a long time. George Ward's been doing a long time. Steve Hall was coaching when I was playing.
Wow.
Keith Guy at Muskegon. I respect him a whole lot. Obviously Pat Donnelly just retired, so we used to have some wars too with him. We have some wars with Rick Palmer, Byron Johnson, who used to be my assistants over at Farmington. Dennis Foster, who used to be my assistants over at Hamtramck, and Dejan Curd, who was my assistant at one point, was at Central. So I like that too. The fact that guys that used to coach with me had their own programs and they're thriving. I mean, I can go on and on,
Hmm.
man. So I respect all the coaches, honestly. So
Mm. But coach is talking. He's very he's a coach, so he's being very political and doing his thing. But
stop being political.
I mean, but also coach means everybody. He gonna respect you, but y'all dog food when he trying to get when he y'all are dog food to coach when he trying to get. He respects you.
We trying, yeah. We trying to win for sure.
Hey, he coming at you.
Like Waddell's my brother, but yeah, we trying to win for sure.
Thank you, man. Like
So.
talk a little stuff now. But as far as but take us back. Like, where did you grow up, and what was life like for you as a kid?
Man, life was cool, man. My parents met in the army out in California, so I'm originally born in California. End up coming back. My dad was a police officer for 30 years till he passed in '09.
Sorry to hear about
Mom
that.
worked at, no, thank you. Mom worked at the post office. She retired. I got a brother and I got two sisters. Unfortunately, my brother is serving a life sentence right now, so he has
Sorry, man.
some struggles with mental illness, and so we always praying for him. I talk to him quite frequently. So everybody got a story, man. But
So I do this,
thank
man.
nah for real. I mean,
Oh wow.
thank God for my wife, man. And, like I said, I look back at it now, when I was heartbroken going through all those things and all that trauma and, just tragedy, man. Like, she was right there by my side the entire time. And so much so that I didn't realize how heartbroken I was while I was coaching and staying busy. She was loving on me and I really genuinely appreciate her. Honestly, I couldn't really be in front of you right now had not been for my wife, though, honestly. So,
Woo, that touched me, man. You see how I look at that, man? That touched me. Woo! Shout out to you. Shout out to your wife. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Shout out to your wife. Shout out to your brother. Oh my God!
Yeah,
but going through all those things, man, can take a toll on you, man. Life is hard, man. So like,
yeah, no, for sure.
but
For
as a
sure.
kid, like man, as a kid to be able to go through all that you went through, and was playing basketball an escape for you?
Yeah, I mean, playing, that's all we did, man. We hooped. Myself, Maurice Head, we played at Crockett, Deshaun Wood. I can go on for days in our neighborhood, growing up, man. But that's all we did. We was hooping, man. Like, that's really it. Sun up, sun down. Sun up, sun down, man.
Wow.
Staying busy, out of trouble. Like I said, my dad was a cop 30 years. He didn't play, so my grades were always good, and so
Okay.
watching over my little brother and my sisters, and
So you was the I don't want to say you were the oldest, but once
yeah, I was the oldest. My god brother though, he was a year older than me, but he stayed with us too. So, but yep.
Wow. So who or what first introduced you to basketball?
Man, my dad, man, we used to watch, man, the Pistons, man. Like I said, Isaiah Thomas was my best player. I mean, well, my favorite player anyway.
Was
So,
it your dad's?
I don't know if he was my dad's, but he was up there though for sure. He definitely was up there for sure.
Okay.
And he used to take me to high school games too. I remember watching Steve Hall play.
Wow.
I remember watching Steve Smith play. And I might have been 5 or 6 then.
Wow.
Then obviously I ended up moving around the corner. My parents had separated briefly, then got back together. And we went to go stay with my dad when they got back, and we were around the corner from St. Rita. So that's how I got into St. Rita, in second grade. So we stayed there for like 2 years. Then we moved deep east, and I used to catch the bus all the way back, man.
To St. Rita.
To St. Rita, yep.
Oh
Or
my
my dad
God.
would drop me off, me and my good friend Dre Johnson.
Oh wow.
So yep.
Just how was that experience? Cause like I talked to many of guys, talked to Waddell. Waddell told me his story about what happened to him and how he just kept going back to St. Rita. He just it's something about that energy that's pulled you back there. The competition, the people, the love, the camaraderie.
I
Like
agree.
what was it about that particular area that just kept drawing you back?
Well, I mean, V and Mark, man. Then Rashad was coming up, who's like a big brother to me too. So, I just was in awe, you know what I'm saying? The talent and just what they were teaching us. And, I mean, I already had a father, but those guys were second fathers to me. But honestly, just like I said, I was always competitive. We used to joke because I always had a 4.0. And my friend Aaron Squarwell, I'd be like, I'm always going to start, no matter how good our team is, because I'm always at a 4.0. And that's what them guys value. So they were showing everybody else, like, this is what we value. So, I mean, I do that to this day, too, as well. But, just, man, it was, you had to bring it in there every day. You had to bring it, man. So. And we loved the competition. We loved learning. At least I loved learning. And it wasn't a spot for the weak, man. Because V and Mark, they was gonna love on you, but they was gonna challenge you. Yeah, they was gonna humble you too. So if you wasn't humble enough, so
Oh wow.
yeah, they was gonna humble you. So
Man. I hear so many great stories about that, man. I'm 37, so we were around the same age. I kind of wish I was good where I was, but I kind of wish I would have had some of that type of love too. I needed
was
that.
very literal. They used to kick me out the gym a whole lot. So yeah, just because I was real literal, man. They loved me. They just like, you got a smart mouth, man. I think Mark called a 10-second call, but I could see on the clock it wasn't 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not 10. Like, it started at this. That's only 8. Like, you counting too fast, man. Like, shut up. Get out of here. So,
But
Yeah.
that taught you so, don't be talking back and
Yeah, no,
what?
I've learned. I've never been short of candor, but I learned how to navigate that.
Mhm.
How to, just presentation or whatnot. They would always, "Well, you can't just say that. They used to call me Muggsy. You can't say that, Muggsy. Just can't say that. Like, why not? It's true. Like, but you had to learn. You can't just say that.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta learn some tact, man.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. But I feel you though.
Yeah. No, it
So,
definitely taught me that.
okay.
Yeah.
So, when you were young, did you have a coach or a mentor who left a big impression on you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, V, Mark,
Hmm.
Tony Howard, man. Tony Howard was amazing. It's funny, my wife brought me to an event that she was hosting. She works for Hap Care Source. And coincidentally, he was getting an award, like a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Mm.
And he had shouted me out, and we was there coincidentally. And I was there, and that was one of my mentors,
Oh
man.
wow. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. But no, like Tony Howard, Daryl Mitchell, those were mentors of mine. V, Mark, I looked up to those guys, and the way they handled family. I knew they wasn't perfect, but I
Mhm.
knew, that they always meant well. They had some great hearts, and they was giving back to their community.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Wow. So, what did hard work mean to you back then
hmm
compared to what it means now?
Man, I think hard work was more, physical, putting in time when I was younger. But then as I, you know, matured, man, you got to see that hard work is also putting in the work on you as a person.
Mm.
So, just developing and, relationships and, like I said, maintain and sustain and building positive, meaningful relationships and,
Mm.
working on yourself,
Mm.
those are the things like that's hard work right there.
Mm.
That's discipline right there.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, walk us through your own playing career. What was your style like on the court?
Like I said, it changed, as basketball was evolving. I mean, I always had a good handle. I always checked value defense
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that's how I was going to get on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, man, I'm not going to have 20, but you're not going to have 20. So, and plus in high school, I played with 2 7-footers. I played with Glenn Bateman that was 6'10", 330. So we had some good plays. We had one play, and he was always open, so you had to pass on the ball, So,
Gave
I
you a
was
lot
getting
of
mine. I
assists.
was getting mine on defense, man. So then
Mm.
when I got in college, I got a chance to showcase more what I can do, but it still was the same, though, honestly.
Okay.
So, defending, taking care of the ball, getting my teammates open shots, making the game easier for the coaches and my team. So, yeah.
Okay. So, do you remember a moment that tested your grit as a player and as a coach?
Man, I would say as a player, man, I feel like every day did test it. Because like I said, I wasn't always the most talented. So, I had to bring it every day just to be in the same category a lot of the better players, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was me. I understood that, and as a coach, I would say, man, just really honestly understanding that, winning is the byproduct of all the other things that's important, all the small value in small, sitting guys when they don't deserve to play, when they're not meeting the standard or expectation, So I would say that those are the toughest things when you're trying to help kids, but discipline them and love them and at the same time getting them to hold them to a standard, even though they don't always understand it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Wow. That because that's hard to do. Sometimes when you had star players, some guys may be scared to sit a star player because hey, he's gonna go transfer, he's gonna go leave.
Well,
So
it's definitely hard to do. So I don't care. I mean, they know that from the get go. So, I think our kids tend to hold themselves more accountable. So they understand it. Yeah.
okay, okay. So if we were to look at your old game footage, will we see hustle, flash, leadership, or will we see all three?
I'm sorry.
If we were to look at your old game footage, will we see hustle, flash, leadership, or will we see all three?
Probably all three. All
Okay.
three. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Not as much flash in high school,
Okay.
flash in college, no,
Okay.
but not as much flash in high school.
So what would you
And an
do?
old school coach, man, Robert Shannon. He didn't really play all that.
So what would you do different like now in today's age? Because people always say how today's, the game is the game in
hmm
different eras. But I'm sorry, but you got two guys in the corner now. You got pick and roll now. You don't got two guys on the block a lot all the time.
Yeah.
It's a little faster now. So what would you do now as far as in today's game?
Honestly, I mean, basketball gonna always come down to three things, man: defending,
Mm.
rebounding, and taking care of the ball. I
Woo.
don't care how much you evolve. You don't turn the ball over much. You rebound, and you can defend.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make teams earn their own points. So
Mm.
you'll always be in the game. So I don't care how it evolves.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do those three things at a high level, you're gonna be right there.
Woo. Okay. So at what point did you know coaching was your path?
Man, I used to think about it like in college and high school a little bit. Then I started coaching by mistake. I think I told you, Box just asked me to help Blair.
Mm-hmm.
Then after the first year, I'm like, man, I ain't doing this no more, man. These guys, they can't play, they complain, but I became committed to helping them. Then I'd be like, I'm gonna quit. Then I get some more players, and you want to see them through. Then it becomes that cycle, man. Then
You got
yeah,
drawn in. Something
yeah,
about
yeah.
you pulled you
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
I would say I'm just attracted to helping people, man. That's a
Mm.
passion of mine. Not really just coaching. That's the avenue,
Mm-hmm.
but I love helping people. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's because of your upbringing, as far as in what you went through with Mark Verge and maybe your brother, as far as in what you want to do just to help young kids.
Yeah, I mean, my dad, like I said, I mean, being a cop, that's a thankless job, man. But he always taught us servant leadership. My mom, they both served in the military, so
Mm-hmm.
they were always helping people too. So we saw that though.
Mm.
And I would say the biggest thing, my dad and both of my mom, they just were always graceful. They were
Mm.
always forgiving. They didn't hold a lot against people when they messed up. So, so it was good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, was there a specific moment or a player that confirmed to you, like, yeah, this is why I coach?
Nah, you know what? I mean,
Because
just
there, like, you always kind of want to quit, and then some things just
yeah.
kept bringing you back.
Well, I tell you what. The kids graduating. My first batch of kids that graduated from college. That was gratifying, honestly. For them to have degrees and doing well, like, and them guys still coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That was gratifying. So,
Mm.
just seeing guys like Devin Long and Lloyd Neely and like Tevin that played for me, helping out DJ, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the gratifying. Those are the rewards, honestly.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So, how does coaching compare to playing in the terms of the grind?
Well, I mean, you're more responsible for an entire program. So as a
Mm.
coach, because you're leading, 14, 15 different kids and families, and nowadays everybody has their own plan. So nowadays I have to sell them on their own individual plan to get them to buy in to the team plan.
Woo.
Whereas, players, man, is you just got to play. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the best you could be.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, you have to think about everybody.
Mm.
You got to think about the families. You got to think about the kids. You got to think about your assistant coaches. You got to think about the program. And it's always program first.
Mm.
So it's different, man. Different type of leadership. Different type of leadership for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, when you hear, just a few more too, when you hear the phrase sweat equity, what does that mean to you?
That means what you got vested in it. To me, I mean, like I said, years into helping people for me, that's what it is. So having all that sweat equity in there, it just makes you, it measures your commitment level. It measures your commitment level. And this type of job, it is thankless, but again, seeing these kids graduate from college, seeing these kids do well, like Ryan Rollins, I was, his older brother played for me. I was intricate in helping him too as well as he was getting ready for the NBA. So, I'm excited for him, you know what I'm saying, to see him continue to excel and had 30 points the other night. And it's like you just get to sit back and understand
New
that
contract.
kid's new contract, but his journey. You know what I'm saying? And to know that you was a part of that to help, and some of the kids around it. Those are great things, man. And he was, he had a great family. His mom Tony and his dad Chris, older brother Chris. So he does. Those are just stories, just example. Those are ones people talk about, but they don't talk about probably Marquise Allen that played for me, right? They ended up getting his degree. So those are stories that people don't talk about that happen, that I probably get more reward, because it's easy for them other guys when they can play at that level. You know what I'm saying? So not so easy for Marquise having all the variables he had working against him to go to college, receive a scholarship, and get his degree.
That's big. That's big. And I talked like a lot of your players go to college. I mean, I'm seeing. So talk to me. How do you teach your players to value hard work over shortcuts?
Man, it's habits. Honestly, you all constant redirection, constantly staying on them about that. I call our kids professional corner cutters. I mean, quite naturally, just people. They look for ways to cut corners. And we try to keep them from not cutting corners and focus on the process. So that is big. But I'm always watching for that, so I can redirect it.
Come on now. So how, like, I know you talk about disciplines. How big is disciplining you as far as in? Because I'm big on daily disciplines, like doing something, rather than not doing it at all, doing something 20 minutes a day or even 10, 15 minutes a day. Small things you do a day or small habits that you do every day can be very big for you. So how big is disciplines for you?
It's the biggest thing, that in relationships, it's the biggest thing, man, because you have to value small. Valuing small, and again, when you start looking at just winning or being successful, and again, oftentimes it's the byproduct of you doing a lot of small things well and being responsible over those small things. So, God can bless you with bigger responsibilities.
So, Coach, a few more. What's one drill or practice habit you swear by to build mental toughness?
Man, running. Honestly, no, I was the running, because you develop a will switch. You know how hard it is to run when your body's telling you, nah, I quit, I can't do this. But I would say the running, and like I told you before, basketball is going to come down to three things, man. And rebounding, defense, and taking care of the ball. So those are things that we work on constantly every day.
How much running?
A lot of running. I mean, we try to make conditioning and toughness a factor. So with the way we play, speeding the game up. And I mean, another thing I liked about the way we switched up our style, I got to play more kids. So I got a chance to reward kids that's in practice. Like when I was coming up, probably 7 people got in the game. We probably play 11. Then so these kids that's coming to work every day, they got some type of reward.
Y'all like the new OKC. I mean, that's how the new style going. OKC and the Pistons, those guys are playing a lot of players because they're keeping guys fresh guys on you.
That too. But again, I just wanted to give the kids more opportunities and rewards. So
come on now. Especially for all the work that they do. Just a few more. So do you think today's generation of athletes has it harder or easier when it comes to earning success?
Man, I don't like to undercut it, man. I think it's a little easier, just because the platforms they had to go to direct to consumer. You know what I'm saying? So, and on top of that, I don't think it's as many. So because there are not as many, people, they feel more inclined not to hold them accountable. You know what I'm saying? So, those are the things. But man, it's awesome to see these guys playing the way they play now. You know what I'm saying? So I wish they would stop messing with the game. In terms of changing the rules, though.
Well, that's like NIL stuff.
No, not that. I'm talking about the actual rules of the game. Like I don't compare. That's why I don't compare eras, because they all different games based on the rules.
A lot of the carrying, like a lot of the
like the defense, the level of physicality. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to compare Mike and LeBron when they playing 2 different games. Like when Mike was playing, it was no flagrant foul. for most of his career. You know,
Yeah.
no, you know what I'm saying, hand checking.
Yeah.
And he was getting 37 a night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I don't
just
wanna
different.
I want to have that discussion with you because I
yeah,
got.
but that's why I don't,
Oh,
because it's
okay.
different eras. You know,
Okay,
it's
okay.
different eras, man.
But it wasn't a lot of threes going on back then too. You had guys
Yeah.
like sagging off for you. If you sack off a player in this day's age, they pulling that three right in your face.
Yeah. But imagine how he was able to get to the basket still with no flagrant foul.
Oh, you're right.
You know,
you're right.
guys used to fight and still stay in the game.
You're right. You're right.
You know
you're
what I'm
right,
saying?
You're
So-
right. Hockey in the head. Oh,
Yeah. Nah, so I mean, I respect it, man. But you know, it's just I wish they would stop messing with the game. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, the game gonna keep evolving, man. So,
yeah, that's good.
so, Coach Juan Rickman, when your players graduate and move on, what's the number one thing you hope they carry with them from your program?
Just to value relationships, honestly. Yep. Value character and value people. So that's what we teach them.
Woo.
Yeah. We talk about we got an acronym called RACER. So it stands for relationships, accountability, appreciation, character, competitiveness, and enthusiasm.
Wow.
So, you know, that's what we want the kids. So they come to me conforming, and we try to work on transformation.
Wow.
So by the end, we hope that the things that we putting into them actually become who they are.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's big, Coach.
Yeah.
You're not just building basketball players. This right here is more big to you. You're not just trying to find the best athlete, or like you're trying to build men.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Okay, so one more, Coach. So what's next for you and your team this season?
We got an exhibition game today, so we just got to get a little tougher, man. Got to develop, you know, a couple more guards, man. So, you know, but we'll be all right. We'll figure it out. So we got a tough schedule, probably the toughest in the state. So, you know, we like it that way.
That's what it's about. One day at a time.
Yep, for sure.
One day
for
at a
sure.
time. Handle your business one day at a time.
For sure.
Be better than you were yesterday every day.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Win the day.
Win the day. Come on
Yeah.
now. So, last one, Coach. If you could leave this audience with one line about success, hard work, or life, like your own personal sweat equity motto, what would it be?
I would say again, it's about relationships for me. So people may forget what you did to them, they may forget what you said to them, but they never forget how you made them feel.
Ooh.
So we are responsible for how we make people feel.
Wow.
So
Coach Juan, that was
Yep.
powerful.
Yep.
Powerful. Hey, also, what would you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
just love, man. Honestly, that love, servant leadership, man, and just family. Honestly, and I just hope the lives that we touch, that it could be a reflection of my own daughters and my wife as well. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. Coach Juan Rickman, I want to thank you because I always tell everybody, like, if you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And for you to give me your time is one of the biggest things that we have here, and I appreciate you
Yeah, thank you.
for giving me your time. But I want everybody to know this is Coach Juan Rickman, head coach, head program here at Ferndale High School. And guys, so how long have you been coaching?
I've been
years?
coaching. I started in 06, so about to be 20 years.
Uh-oh.
About to be 20 years.
About to be his 20th anniversary as coaching, man. Wow. Look great, Coach, all right?
Thank you.
But guys, this is Sweat Equity Podcast, where we highlight, this is home of where we highlight the athletes, the coaches, and put a spotlight on the coaches who've been through that grind. And we want to say thank you. We're out.